It's horrible to imagine, but what if there were a terrorist attack like the Boston Marathon bombing next to San Diego City Hall? Lots of city departments and the city council would have to move to different locations so they could go on serving residents. Those alternate locations are supposed to be named in what are called continuity of operations plans. Each city department is supposed to have one. But an audit released last summer found that all but one city department either didn't name a location, picked a bad location, or pick the same spot as other departments without knowing who would get priority. City Councilwoman Marty Emerald heads the Public Safety Committee. She says San Diego has always been behind the curve in its security plans.
Not so much unsafe, but not as prepared as we all need to be. You know, sometimes the message goes in one ear and out the other, I think. We assume that disaster happens to somebody else.
The audit was focused on the city's Office of Homeland Security. No, it's not a federal office, but a city department. It acts as an umbrella coordinator for all city departments in an emergency. Director John Valencia says he's now working to help update the city's emergency plans. He says the mayor's office got a complete plan in 2012, but other city departments didn't.
There were the other offices that, for whatever reason, I think it might have been lack of resources, either consultant support or Office of Homeland Security staff or availability, that did not get fully resolved continuity of operation annexes. Now, it's important to note that that's by no means ideal, but given constrained resources and availability of staff back in 2012, that's what was feasible.
Now Valencia says they're working on updated plans, especially for city council offices. He's waiting for council staff to review them, but he's not sure how long that will take.
Once the template is determined, there are few items on our to-do list that have a higher priority.
The audit also says that while the city requires new employees to get training on what to do in an emergency, no one checks to be sure this happens. City Councilwoman Lori Zaff brought this up at an October council meeting on the audit.
At the city, we have mandatory trainings, ethics, sexual harassment, all these trainings that we need to do like every year. And it looks like all the city employees are supposed to be trained for emergencies within 90 days of hire, according to the COOP, or Continuity of Operations Plan. But I've been here 4 years now, and neither myself nor any member of my staff has ever been contacted regarding any kind of emergency preparedness training.
Valencia says training for elected officials is offered twice a year, but his office is now doing additional training.
We also just finished instructing every single council staff on an overview, basically providing them overview instruction on emergency operations in the city. And that's something that now we will continue to make available on a routine basis.
Valencia says these changes are important because San Diego is vulnerable to disasters in numerous ways. In addition to natural disasters, the city has big public spaces, a harbor, and military bases that could be attacked. Councilwoman Emerald says she hopes the audit will help shake up San Diego and remind everyone to be prepared.
We have to keep working it to make sure that people don't become complacent, and that everybody understands that life is good in San Diego, but things could change on a dime, and we need to be prepared. And I believe that the response to the audit is getting us that much closer to being really better prepared to deal with emergencies.
Claire Tregesser, KPBS News.